Does the president have the stamina, physically and mentally, do you think, to continue on even after 2024?
Don, you're asking me this question. Oh my gosh, he's the president of the United States. You know, I can't even keep up with him.
When I ran, I said I was going to try to do three things: restore some integrity to the office, bring back a sense of focus on the needs of ordinary people, and try to unite the country. And so that's what I've done. I've tried to do.
Those were the three things he most egregiously failed at. He didn't bring integrity. He allowed his son, he tried to fix his son sentencing with a sweetheart deal from the DOJ that would have gone through had not courageous people you had on your show, the IRS whistleblowers, stopped it. And then he pardoned his son after he said 6 times that he wouldn't. He just pardoned 1,500 miscreants. He doesn't even know what they did. His staff probably did it for him and got it by them. He did not unite the country. That's the one thing he was at pains not to do.
Victor Davis Hanson delivers a scathing critique of Joe Biden's presidency, labeling it as one of the most deceptive and disastrous in modern history. He points to failures in integrity, such as the controversies surrounding Hunter Biden and questionable pardons, and highlights divisive rhetoric and contentious policies like border security mismanagement and the chaotic Afghanistan withdrawal. Hanson argues these issues have deepened political divides, eroded trust in institutions, and burdened the middle class with stagnant wages and inflation, cementing Biden's term as a historic low point. He further condemns the media and Democratic Party for allegedly covering up concerns about Biden's mental health, claiming this shields him from accountability and amplifies the damage of his administration's policies.
These reporters who participated in this cover-up have now adjudicated in these last 40 days that Biden cannot help them by complicity in this lie. They won't be rewarded. He has no power to help them, and he has no power to hurt them if they now finally tell the truth. This was the greatest presidential fraud and deception since Woodrow Wilson had a stroke in 1919, and Edith Wilson kept that from the American people for 16 months to their internal shame. This is going to be shameful for the rest of presidential history, what they did.
The most difficult part about a meeting with President Biden is preparing for it, because he is sharp, intensely probing, and detail-oriented and focused.
I can testify because I've been working very closely with this president for the past 2 years. I've been knowing him for 30 years. And I'm telling you, this guy's tough. He's smart. He's on his game.
Joe Biden has vision. He has knowledge. He has a strategic thinker.
They know what they did. And the worst offender is actually not the media. It's Kamala Harris. When she announced the Robert Hur report, she attacked him personally and said he should be ashamed of himself. He's unprofessional for just the idea of hinting that Joe Biden would appear enfeebled before a jury and therefore would be exculpated. She should have got down on her knees and thanked Robert Hur that they gave him that out from felonious behavior.
President is focused. He's detail-oriented. He's always thinking about the big picture.
He is engaging. He is capable. He has an incredible record as president.
And I'm often with him on foreign trips. He's at the top of his game.
So he has a vision, he has knowledge, he has judgment, he has a strategic thinking.
This was the denouement of a long type of deception. They appointed Joe Biden as a facade, the Obamas and the hierarchy of the Democratic Party, to play the role of old Joe Biden from Scranton, where they pushed through the most destructive left-wing agenda in modern history. And then when they found out he couldn't even play that role of a waxen effigy, they deposed him in the same abrupt coup manner that they appointed him. And they put in Kamala Harris. And now they can't decide whether she did worse or it would have been better to have him continue. Such was a poor choice among the two.
I met with the president, 5 or 6 weeks ago, and he seemed fine to me.
I have complete confidence in the president. I have watched him expertly guide meetings of staff and cabinet members. I could not have more confidence in the president.
I would just tell you that I meet frequently with the president, and every single time I meet with him, he is just fine.
But he is, again, knowledgeable, wise.
Incredibly sharp, incredibly probing, incredible command of the details.
He is sharp. He is on top of things.
There is nothing to these challenges, these suggestions that somehow he's not sharp and he's not capable.
We see Joe Biden up close. We know how attuned he is to the issue.
And you're going to see how smart he is and the experience he has.
I say his age is an asset.
Aha! He's wise.
Yes, he's wise. He has wisdom. He has experience.
During the campaign of 2019, he forgot himself in the middle of speeches, and people were warning the Democratic Party that this man was not capable. Barack Obama said to him, "You don't have to do this, Joe." And then when he did it, apparently Obama said, "Okay, if you're going to do it, we'll use you."
Yeah, well,
I mean, useful. And when you're no longer useful, we don't want you. The only time he was coherent in 4 years is when he got angry. And when he gave that Phantom of the Opera semi-fascist ultra mega speech, it was just dripping with hatred. And he did that even in the State of the Union addresses. He went after the people, not just Trump, but the people who voted for him. And he did not. And he did not help the middle class. When he got through, after 4 years, real wages were stagnant, if not declining. And more importantly, the cumulative inflation rate from the day he entered office to the day he left on staple goods, food, gas, rent, insurance, power, was about 25 to 30% higher. And he really made it almost impossible for a middle-class person to survive under him. It was a complete disaster. And don't listen to me. These were what the polls showed, that in retrospect, the economy showed that no voters had confidence in him. He was polling 40% approval rate on the economy, 40% on the border, down the line. And, they all said that this was not a referendum or on Biden, or it was not a blowout for Trump, or it was not a landslide victory. It was, in a way, because Donald Trump won the popular vote for the first time for Republican in 20 years. He won the Electoral College. He now has, you could say, the Republicans, for the first time in my memory, control the White House, the House, the Senate, the Supreme Court, and more importantly, they had issues, every one of them, foreign policy and deterrence, crime, energy, the border, etc., that the majority of the people were behind. So I don't think they get it yet. Joe Biden, if anybody adheres to what he just said, is delusional.
It is hard for us to keep up with this president.
His mental acuity is great. It's fine.
And this kind of sense that he's not ready for this job is just a bucket of BS that's so deep, your boots will get stuck in.
Hanson leaves us with a sobering thought. The lasting impact of this presidency may well define America's challenges for generations to come. Do you agree with Hanson's perspective, or do you see things differently? Thanks for watching, and be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more insights.